What's going on, everyone? Wildcat here, bringing you the first official episode of my story times. So, in this episode, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about cheating in video games, specifically to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because growing up, yes, Pokemon was my favorite. It still is, but I was also interested in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the game as well. And while the series has a lot of cheating involved, like a lot of cheating involved, right? Don't get me started about Mammoth Graveyard fusing with a magical arrow and making Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon rot from the inside out. That was ridiculous. Or if I could mention about, Toon Will monsters being able to dodge attacks. Yeah, anyways, but enough about that for now. That's not the cheating that I'm referring to. Cheating I'm actually referring to is in real life where I actually went to my first official Yu-Gi-Oh tournament back about, let's say it was about 14 or 15 years ago. So I was there at this tournament and they separated it into um the rankings of the tournament bracket that you would be in. It went as, amateur and professional, and it was done based on your age. So um up till age 12 was the amateurs, and anything after that you were considered a professional. So yeah, I went to this tournament and I was, I would say I did pretty well. So my first round was the quickest match that I ever played in Yugioh, and I did win, and that was because my opponent never showed up. Yes, so everybody else started their matches, they were dueling, and I was there sitting and waiting on my scheduled opponent to show up, and the judges just gave me the automatic victory because, yeah, didn't show up. So first round was cool, and I remember right before the quarterfinals, I played against this guy who pretty much didn't understand the rules because this is how it went down, and I knew he didn't understand the rules from this. I had a blue eyes white dragon on my side field. He had a blue eyes white dragon on his side field. He wanted to attack my blue eyes white dragon. I told him if he attacked my blue eyes white dragon, both of them would be destroyed because same attack points. So when I told him that, he switches blue eyes to defense mode. Now blue eyes has a defense power of 2500 as opposed to its attack being 3000. So I used my blue eyes to destroy his one, and I explained that to him as well. And next thing I used a monster bone, took his blue eyes as well, and I ended up winning the duel. So at the end of the duel, he was about to leave, and I stopped him and returned his card to him, his blue eyes white dragon. So um, I remember hearing someone speaking, saying that I didn't have to do that. I could have just taken his card. Now other people would have done that. To me personally, I know if that were me and somebody did me that, you wouldn't like it. Nobody would like having their cards stolen like that. So kindly don't do to other people. It's just bad, and yeah, just that's not something that people should be telling you, right? But y- it's a matter of courtesy and morality, right? Why would you steal from somebody if you don't want anybody to steal from you? I know it's a funny concept, right? But anyways, most people in the world don't think like that. But anyways, straight from topic. So let's get into where the actual cheating happens. So I was in the quarterfinal match, and I remembered like it was just yesterday because I was playing against this smug kid. The amateur league, to me, I thought I could have won it easily because I had a basic understanding of the game. I didn't know fully well with certain mechanics because the game was new at the time, and it was new at the time for everybody within that class of the tournament. Um, so yeah, and I also, one of my memories in that tournament is that there were people selling cards, and there was this one guy selling the 5 pieces of Exodia for $1,000, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't be able to buy that. But it was cool to actually see the 5 pieces of Exodia. Anyways, so going back to my quarterfinal match against this smug kid, um, he already told me from the beginning of the match that, I wasn't going to win because he's using his brother's cards. So his brother apparently taught him how to use his cards. So that was like, okay, I'm not gonna just give up for that. I actually have to try because I had some of my brother's cards with some of my cards. One of them being Jinzo. I loved using Jinzo just for the fact that you can use trap cards when he was on the field, and almost every duel I managed to summon him. Um, so playing against this guy, I really had trouble keeping monsters on the field because this guy had Raigeki in his deck. And he didn't just have one Raigeki, he had multiple copies of Raigeki. So at this point you're probably thinking, oh, he has 3 Raigeki in his deck. He actually had 4 Raigeki in his deck. And if you, I know at this point you're thinking, okay, well, that's against the rules, and I should have red flagged that with a judge um, immediately. But here's the thing. You remember earlier when I said I didn't really know much about the game? I didn't know that cards were limited to 3 copies each in a deck. So it didn't click to me that, hey, this guy is cheating, and to be fair, uh, to give him the benefit of the doubt, he may have, not known that as well, but it was still cheating either way. And you might be thinking, well, are the judges blind? Did the judges not see that he had 4 copies of it, right? Well, not really, no, because the judges were not. They were barely paying attention to the duels because we were amateurs, so it was like they didn't really care. And the only time they pay attention is when the time was running out for the rounds and they had to determine a winner. So that's basically what happened, and I did try to put up a fight. I think the most damage I got to do to his life points was about 2000 or around there, because I remember getting to summon Jinzo, and I was so happy when I summoned Jinzo, and I was dreading if he would Raigeki it, and I actually ran into New Doria, and if you know anything about New Doria, you destroy New Doria by battle, he gets to destroy the monster that destroys it basically. So lost my Jinzo like that. And anything that I basically summoned was Raigeki, and I actually, thinking about it, I thought it was really questionable how consistent he was pulling that Raigeki, especially since, I think I shuffled his deck. He got those Raigekis constantly, and I don't want to say that maybe he had more than 4 copies of Raigeki in his deck because he only played 4 against me, I remember that clearly. But I didn't think too much about it until the next day. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed to get knocked out like that, especially, if I had lost to somebody who had better sportsmanship, I probably wouldn't have been as sour, but I was sour a bit, and I will admit that. I was because of the kid's attitude. Anyways, when I got home and the next day one of my friends told me, I told him about what happened, and it was actually he who brought it to my attention that, hey, you could only have 3 copies of cards in your deck, and he asked me the same question about, if a judge, so that judges didn't see that before the tournament actually started, you could have bring your deck to a judge, and they would have inspected it and give you pointers on what was good or bad. If they thought your deck was good, they wouldn't really tell you anything. But the thing about that is that was optional. So this kid more than likely didn't get his deck inspected, because I would like to think that somebody judging a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament would know that, hey, you can't have more than 3 copies of a card in your deck. Um, but yeah, that was basically what happened, and that was my first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament making it to the quarterfinals, where basically people didn't understand basic rules, and yeah, I ended up getting booted out by someone with 4 Agekis in their deck. Yeah, so before anyone goes to say, well, maybe I misunderstood, maybe he played too one wrong, and next round he played another two. No, I remember this perfectly. It was four during one duel, and he played about two or three in the next one because I didn't win any rounds. It was quick. That's why I thought it was kind of questionable to how quickly he was getting his Raigekis. And we had 50 cards in our deck, I believe. It was around that. It wasn't this 40 card. It was 50 or 60. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But I do remember the Raigekis. And it's like, moral of story is always go in and knowing the rules, right? If you're going into a tournament, please, or whatever game it might be, even though you might be like, it's just a game and whatnot and thing, I mean, play fairly. If you have to play fairly and lose, then there's no shame in that. At least you tried. And it doesn't make sense trying to go into a game just to cheat someone. Especially in on the tournament settings, because there are prizes. I believe there was a cash prize and Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes as the main prize for that. So basically, you're just cheating somebody out of a chance of winning fairly. It's about sportsmanship and playing fairly, and we have enough people being toxic in um, on online games and in general. So just you don't like it. Again, this is my point. You don't like it if someone is toxic towards you. So try to cut out the amount of toxicity in the world for the larger part of this. But we're starting small. This is why we're starting with the gaming part, the online gaming part. Be less toxic and encourage other players to be less toxic, because nothing shies away someone from a game quicker than toxic players. Because if you're a noob in a game, they'll be like, oh, you're a noob, and tell you stop playing game, uninstall the game, and it's like, okay, cool, I just started playing, there's a learning curve before you can actually be that rude to people, even though you shouldn't be, but you get my point. So this is part 1 in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cheating story. There is a part 2 to it. This is where I experience cheating in another aspect, and I will be bringing that part 2 sometime later on. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.